And I wasn't drinking alone. I wasn't, I wasn't like drinking in the dark. Like, I was going out and having fun. And so people were kind of torn. So it's like, well, Nick's having a blast. He's hilarious, so it was like, it was just a really gray area. But so to have me end up in the hospital, I just had hit a wall, and I went on the summer bender and it bled into the fall. Now we're in September, and I am in my hotel in Minneapolis, and I start throwing up bile all over the place, which is not uncommon.
Are you drunk at this point?
No, I just woke up, and I'm throwing up bile, and I'm like, ugh, and I feel a pain in my body, and my assistant picks me up to go to the airport, and I'm like, hey, I think something's wrong. And he goes, no, you're just hungover, dude. And I'm like, no. Like, I know what a hangover is. You know what I mean? So we get to the airport. I go to the computer to get my ticket. I throw up in the trash can. Then I go to the bar, get a drink. So I'm like, I'll just drink through it. Throw that up. I'm like, fuck. Now the pain's like on fire in my body. So I get on the plane, throw up in the plane, in the bathroom. Then I'm sitting at window seat, and I have to puke again. The plane's about to land, so you can't get up. So I just like open my carry-on and just do a little side vomit into my carry-on. And the guy next to me is on his laptop, and I know he sees me doing it, and he's just like, so he doesn't look at me. So I just barf. And then I get off the plane, and now it's really painful. So again, I go, I'll just drink through it, because I was always like, there's always, if you know this as a drinker, with your anxiety or anything, you feel like shit, you always get to a point, and me and my friends call it the magic cocktail, where it's like drink 3 or 4, where you're like, finally, where your nerves and everything, finally everything hits a plateau, and you're like, all right, I'm back. And so I couldn't find that. I kept vomiting. So I call my agent, and I'm like, dude, I've got to go to the urgent care. Like, this is like bad. And he's like, really? And he's been my agent for 20 years. So I go, yeah. So this is like a funny part, because life's funny. I pull up urgent care by the Denver airport, and I found one that was like a mile away. I'm like, okay, great. And then I noticed it had 1 star. I was like, all right.
Well, clearly urgent care gets ranked on stars.
Well, first of all, I'm like, okay, clearly they're not urgent about caring. They have 1 star. I'm like, am I going to go in and be like, yeah, I think I drank too much, and they walk out with like a sex change? I'm like, no, I have a pussy now? No, I just said I have a drinking problem.
Let's show some urgency here.
So I go to the urgent care, and the woman goes, oh my God, you need an ambulance. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah. So they call paramedics.
Why did she think that?
I don't know.
Were you green?
I don't know what I look like.
That's terrifying.
I have no idea. I was just like, no, I'm just hungover. And she was like, no. So the paramedics came, and the guy looks at me, and he's like, whoa. He goes, what's your name? Going through all this stuff. And I answered everything, and my hands are shaking. And I go, I've been drinking a lot, blah, blah, blah. And the guy goes, no, I've been on Skid Row for 30 years. He's like, you need to go to the fucking ER. And I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah. And then the other guy goes, were you in Grandma's Boy? And I was like, yeah. Let's save that right now.
This is more important.
So I go to the ER, and I was there 4 to 3 weeks. This is how bad it was.
Are you shitting, by the way? You nervous as hell that they're telling you all these things? Like, what are they seeing that I'm not seeing other than I am throwing up?
When I was in the ambulance, I started to kind of go, holy fuck, how did I get myself here? You know what I mean? I was like, I can't believe it got to this point. And we go to the ER, and they hooked me up with morphine, and then I was fine. And then my 2 opening acts found me somehow through my phone. I must have texted them. I did when I landed. And then I texted them, and I was going to the ER, and so they found me, and they showed up. And then
wait, who found you?
My openers, the 2 comedians that were there. I was in Denver for a gig, and the rest, it was just put me on morphine, and then it was flashes, and then out. Completely lights out for a week and a half. Then I came to, and then it was just building myself back up. And it was like, I mean, I've been through a lot of things. I've been to the ER, I've gotten on IVs, and I'm fine. But this was just way different. So then I was released, and it was a miracle, truly a miracle.
Truly a miracle that you lived?
The nurse goes, you should have died. She goes, what you had and what your body was going through, she's like, I swear to God, you shouldn't be alive. It's crazy that you're alive.
And it's from alcohol?
It was a perfect storm of pancreatitis, pneumonia, blood bacteria, alcohol poisoning, altitude sickness. So 5 of those things hit my system at once. 5. And she goes, you can die from one of those. And all 5 hit your system at once. And she was like, she goes, I can't believe you're walking out of here. She goes, people come in for quadruple bypass surgeries and they're out in like 3 to 4 days for quadruple bypass heart surgeries.
You were there for 4 weeks.
3 weeks.